What's up, mga papi?
What's up, mga papi? Today is just gonna be a deck profile video for Orcust. We had something else planned, but we weren't able to do it, so I guess I'll just do this to also join Bombasi's, I don't know, deck profile thing. So I'll just do it and let's go. I've been playing on Dueling Book for the past couple of weeks instead of Nexus because I think it's just more competitive there. So this deck is kind of adjusted to the meta in DB and not what I am expecting here in the Philippines. So let's go. First of all, 3 Scrap Recyclers. It's just the best starter in the deck, so yeah, I cannot not play it, even though it has a couple of bricks, which are Scrap Golem and Crystron Rosenix. It just has a lot of well, it has a much higher ceiling than the other starters, so I just have to play it. So that's that. Okay, just put it in there. And then World Legacy Succession, I put it near them because you just go through it when you do the Scrap Recycler combo. For the 3 other starters, we have Armageddon Knight, Dark Grepher, and Rhoda. So there's not a lot of starters right now since we don't have Harp, so I'm playing as much starters as I could. So the Scrap, Armageddon Knight, basically the warrior package, right? So really good stuff, especially Dark Grepher, since Dark Grepher could also act as an extender instead of being just a starter. So there's that. And then we have the 3 copies of Girsu. So next to Scrap, this is definitely the next best starter because you can do a lot of things with it, and it also acts as an extender itself because it makes a token. Alright, so we move on to the next. It's gonna be the Orcust package. So you have Nightmare, 3 of them, 2 Symbol, 2 World Wand. Some people have been cutting Orcust Nightmare and Symbol Skeleton to 1 or 2 of each, but I just feel like, especially Nightmare, it's so good because if you can just discard it, then you have your place, so you can bait out some negates and go into Nightmare into the graveyard and you're gonna be good to go. Symbol also is a lot better now since it's not that awful anymore in hand because you can always have Link Cross, and if you have a discard fodder for something else, and you can go into Gal, into Link Cross, and then you can revive the Galatea so that you can have your Orcust engine going, basically. That's it. So since we have quite a lot of Orcust names, we can actually run 2 or 3 orchestrated returns, but I'm just running 2 because I don't want to break too much on it. So we're onto the spells, 2 orchestrated returns and the 1 Babel. Just really good cards, actually. Orchestrated Return as well is a good bait for negates. It baits out Ash because it allows you to draw 2 while setting up your graveyard. So really good. The 1-ofs, Foolish Burial, Called by the Grave, Instant Fusion, and Red Eyes Fusion. So a lot of people are only playing the Dragoon package, and I'm playing the Winda package here as well for the Verte because it's very consistent anyway since we have the Link monster. Yeah, that's why I play Winda, because it just auto wins against a lot of decks that don't have droplets or impermanent hand. So yeah, Foolish Burial, really good extender. If you get some interaction with your opponent, then you can just push through those interactions like hand traps and stuff like that. Called by the Grave, it's really good because, you know, it stops hand traps, at least the ones that you can use CBTG on. So even if it's a 1-off, Saki, but you know, it's always good to have in hand. It can also be used offensively, so there's that. So next up would be the monsters that we use for the Red Eyes Fusion. So Dark Magician and Red Eyes Black Dragon. So, you know, I mean, they're kind of bricks, but you just have to play them because Dragoon is one hell of a card. The next cards would be the extenders. I play 3 Apprentice Illusion Magician and 2 Defrag Dragons. The reason why I play these 2 is because they discard for cost of special summon, meaning that I get to choose which one I discard. So if I have an Orcust Nightmare in hand, then I can just pitch it with either of these 2 and then just carry on with my plays. That could also work in my favor if they interact or stop my normal summon so that I can actually continue playing the game. Also, Apprentice Illusion being greater than or equal to level 5 comes up with Dark Grepher sometimes, because you can special summon Grepher off of it if you had another Dark to actually pitch of Dark Grepher. So that's really good. Yep. There are also Darks because they could be used for Dark Grepher as well as a cost if you wanted to do that. So instead of using like Quick Draw Synchron, I use these 2 because they're Darks. Next, Ash Blossom. This is just the hand trap lineup now. Nibiru, Ghost Ogre, and Infinite Impermanence. 3 Ash, 3 Nibiru, 3 Ogre, 1 Imperm. This is the hand trap that I use when I'm playing with people here in the Philippines, because I think this is what suits the meta here. I play Gamma in DB because you need the high impact hand trap in DB because everyone's playing like Dionos, Dragon Link, Infernobles, and stuff like that. So yeah, but I adjust it here because this is what I think is suitable for the meta these days. So that's it for the hand traps, and the final card would actually just be the singular Orcust Crescendo. I was actually thinking of cutting this altogether, but it's just way too good. If you finish your turn and then your opponent's turn goes by and they can't out your board, you can revive Gal, or if you still have Gal on the field, just shuffle 1 back and search this for a negate on your turn. Really good. That's it for the main deck. Trying to make this quick actually. So the next one would be the extra deck. So let's go to that. Nothing too special here aside from the window, to be honest. So let's go through the tokens first. Nothing important there. So just the tokens. I play level 1s because of the Girsu and the Christian Rosenix. I just want it to be, you know, logical. Next, I play Linkuriboh and Link Cross for the level 1s. For the Link ones. Linkuriboh is just necessary because if you wanna turn your level 1 tokens into an effect monster, you just have to use Linkuriboh. And also it comes up because you're using Link Cross as well, so if you summon tokens, you can just Linkuriboh from grave, distribute the token, since you can't use them for link summoning. So just another effect monster on the field. Really good. Next would be Verte, Scrap, and Lib. Overall, just really good cards. Libs obviously searches your other extender in World Legacy Succession. Anaconda, don't really need to explain, just allows you to get into Winda and Dragoon. So just overall really good cards. Oh, Scrap Wyvern, by the way, is just really insane because if they negate your normal summon of Scrap Recycler, you can just make an extender and go into Scrap Wyvern. So you're still able to play even after 1 interruption, unless it's Gamma. Actually, you can still play through Gamma in some hands because you're gonna have Orcust Nightmare in hand a lot of the time, so you can go to that. Next one would be Galatea. Gotta play the ultis, of course. Really good card. I've cut this down to 2 a long time ago because I've been finding the extra deck space to be a little bit tight. So yeah, that's why I play only 2 now, but it's the best card in the extra deck for sure. Searches everything. And then I actually play the IP and Nightmare package because IP is just an insanely good card. You can get interrupted and still have 2 bodies on the board to either make Dragoon or go into IP. So if you're in a pinch, you can actually make IP Masquerena because it's just really good. If you end on, let's say, Verte, IP, and your graveyard setup, you can actually go into the next card as well, which is Apollousa. So Apollousa just comes up a lot of times. You can summon it on your turn or on your opponent's turn if you were locked into darks in your turn. So that's the 1 link 4 that I play. the other link for that I play is access code. This deck doesn't usually have problems going for game because you have Dragoon that usually gets to 4k attack, so there's that. But in some occasional situations, you can actually find yourself in a tough spot trying to go for game, and sometimes you just need to be able to clear your opponent's board, so access code talker is just always good for that. Nope. Next, diffusion monsters, Winda, and Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. Summoning either of these two will just vary on what you think your opponent is playing on game 1, and game 2 obviously you're gonna know. Games 2 and 3 you're gonna know, so it's gonna depend on what they are playing. So yeah, when the Dragoon, obviously Dragoon is also good going second because you can just clear the boards. And then finally the 2 XEs, Dingirsu, just really good card. I placed 2 still because in the grind game, just comes up a lot. You summon Gal of Symbol Skeleton from the grave, and you overlay with Dingirsu. So yeah, some notable things that a lot of you might actually notice is I do not play the Bardich package. The reason being, I'm already playing quite a lot of bricks. Rosenix and Golem are 2 of them, and then I have the Dragoon package. So I chose the Dragoon package over the Bardich package because I think it's easier to get to. If you get interrupted a lot, you're not really gonna end on 3 monsters to get to Bardich. And even if you do, you still need to actually have Dingirsu set up in your grave to actually have it be useful. And not having Bardich allows me to play IP Masquerena, which is also really good. So there's that. The other thing that you might notice is that I'm not playing Longirsu because, and the reason behind that is because I don't really need it a lot anymore since I play IP Masquerena anyways. The only fringe cases where it's gonna come up is if you have no hand cards to discard off of Unicorn, and you just want to use Longirsu's shuffle back. But that doesn't come up a lot anymore because you don't really need to shuffle back 2 these days because the games just go really quickly. So yeah, that pretty much wraps it up. If you guys want to see a combo video, I could make one, but not now because the video is gonna drag on for too long. So that's gonna be it for the deck profile, guys. Thank you for watching. Dislike, unsubscribe, and report. Thank you.